Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Catherine Inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hey, Vinny, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
I'm good. You know, like, happy Monday, everybody. Like, it's the almost the end of Owner's Month, sad face, the 27th of June.
But it's almost Geek's birthday.
Oh, yay!
So, yeah.
I'm trying to plan something, but Geek's afraid.
So anyway, we got a guest, Joe?
Yes, we do. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the former GM of NCW from Buffalo.
Nickel City Wrestling.
Nickel City Wrestling.
Matthew Amato.
Give myself a little applause here. By the way, happy birthday, Geek.
Thank you. Thank you. We don't know
what's going on, fellas.
We don't know what we're doing that weekend, so we might be doing. Might be doing a stream. We might not. We'll have to see.
I'm trying to beg him, but he won't. He won't.
You gotta take the stream. You gotta take the show on the road. You gotta go to Applebee's, start interviewing the waitresses, the owners. You gotta go. What you call it? Lucha March. You gotta find someone to wear a mask. Do the whole thing.
Jeez, that'd be hilarious.
we gotta become like the Walmart guys. You know, the Walmart guys that they fight in Walmart.
The wrestlers, yeah.
They fight in Walmart.
See, that's the thing. Geek's like, oh, we should try to get that guy. And I'm like, if you do that, I'm not coming on the podcast. You will send me the link 15 times, and I'll be like, sorry, had the diarrhea. Can't hang out.
My question is, how many Walmarts do you think those two guys got kicked out of?
Okay, we didn't do the opening, Geek. We didn't do the opening. You introduced the guest, Geek. We didn't even. If our fans are not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Matthew Amato. I represent Nickel City Wrestling. I am a former general manager. I am a former manager of the Arcade Heroes, and I am currently fighting my way back into being the Nickel City Wrestling general manager.
See, we missed our chance, Geek. We could have had your team be on Tag Team Month, which was last month. See, we wish if we would have met you in May. You could have been on one of these beautiful dates with your tag team.
Yeah. Well, former, we unfortunately, I split from the group. TJ Karts and Dan Macchio, they're two talented individuals. Without me, they have gone off and won titles. Dan Macchio right now is currently on tour with Midget Warriors of Wrestling. He's doing some big things. TJ Karts is doing his, I want to say it's MMA/kickboxing things. He runs a school in Niagara Falls. So both of them are out doing their own things, and they're doing fantastic. I do miss them, but I do see them from time to time.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Lisa Arn says,
name too.
Lisa Arn says, you have the best name ever. Amato.
Amato. You know, that's so funny because as a kid, I hated that last name because in school they would call me Amato Tomato. Yeah, it's sauce.
Like, you'll end up under my shoes like a tomato. That's what I would have told.
Oh, that would have been a great thing for when I was a heel. Just tell the fans that you'll end up like a tomato under my shoe.
Splats. That perfect T-shirt. Oh God, have a foot stepping on a tomato, and then the back has the splat on it.
That'd be great, actually.
I'm always good with the drawing and the visualization in my brain, like a shoe.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, all the designs you see for our flyers or graphics, that's all done by me. So, I mean, I have an idea of what I want. Sometimes it doesn't convey perfectly, but, it's still something that, is a talent that you should have, especially in the 21st century.
Yeah.
It's always good because, like, stuff like people like us that were, like, such a small podcast, everybody thinks, oh, Joe, when we first did our posters, that the picture's really big, and it was just our logo in the corner. Now I've seen how one of our past guests made their own poster for the show, and I took a little something from them. Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
It looks like I see Lewis commented. Wow, you're the best buddy. Yo, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in.
Yes,
Make sure you follow us.
Yes, I took a little from him. I took the logo, like you saw the poster I made for you.
Yeah.
The picture, our picture, the name of the guest, and then where we're live. So it's like everything in one.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
What you call it? You condense it all, man. Get the point across, and people are going to tune in.
And I make that all on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's not like
the thing. There's apps, and they're just so convenient that you just pull it out. You can just do little photoshops here and there, and if you pay the extra money, you get the little watermark removed from it.
Really? You could? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's like a premium because I know I have one that I use for like our flyers to like shrink them down. I think it's like Insta size or something like that, but you just pay the premium, and then I think it's like $4.99, $5.99, and then you'll never have to have a watermark in your poster again.
I always get freaked out because sometimes the pictures' backgrounds are black. So we had one of the owners that we just had on. I sent him the poster. He sent it back 2 different ways. I was like, I got mad at first, and then I went, "Oh my god, he's helping me."
Yeah.
He just helped me. He made the poster.
Yeah, you insulted the poster.
I'm like, not me. I'm the one that makes the poster. So I was like, I'm making him in the morning, drinking my coffee. I'm going, my mom's, what are you doing? Texting? No, working.
Yeah, so sometimes the wrestlers actually ask us, they're like, "Do you have a promotional photo of yourself?" They're like, "Oh, go to my Instagram page and take anything." We don't like doing that because
like you have to do that screenshot, and you'll just never get the resolution correct.
And that and sometimes they might not like the photo that they put up there, and they're like, "No, we don't want you to use that photo."
We have.
Well, then send one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to say names, but we had one wrestler one time. I say the person never even made it on the podcast. I have my allergies. They send me 3 pictures, and I'm like, I can't use this. It will get flagged immediately on YouTube. I mean Instagram. Yeah. Let's just say, no. Jerry Lawler would like the pictures, but we can't. Puppies.
I'm not using it.
Yeah. Oh, you beat me to the puppies joke.
Yeah, it was puppies. I was like, puppies. No, I can't. No.
Oh my god. Well, who was it? Speaking of puppies, I don't know why I just jumped in my brain, but who was the one who had the famous WWF cover where they held the 2 dogs there?
It was Stone Cold
Sable. X. Oh, Deborah, yes.
Deborah.
Oh god. I remember that was like one of the first WWF magazines I ever purchased.
Oh jeez, I wonder why.
The Attitude Era. Love it.
Geek would have been like, ew, Joe, that's nasty. I'm like, this is nasty? What's wrong with you, Geek? You okay? You okay? You good? You hit your head or something? And then now I'm like, now I know why my mom yells at me when she walks in my bedroom all the time. Now
you guys crazy.
18-year-old me is wondering why his mom's yelling at him when she looks through my magazine rack and sees the puppies.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That's the one we tuck away under the bed, bro.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. 18-year-old me doesn't care. It's magazine. Yeah. I'm reading it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like what you go and the uncles say, "Oh yeah, I just read the Playboys for the articles."
Yeah. Yeah. So who you want to tell us, like, who do you have on, like, on your rosters? Your roster
who just popped up is, I'll give you guys, he's a newer gentleman. His name is Diego Lopez. He is fresh out of the NCW compound facility. Last show, which was Summer Slugfest. He made his debut against Titus Smith. I can't remember off the top of my head just because I didn't make notes, but I believe he won in his match against Titus Smith, and Titus was one of the first people to spark his interest in professional wrestling. So it was like a full 360 of Titus introduced him to wrestling. Titus, showed him, where the connections were, and then he finally made his. Let's see, Shadow Jr. What's up, guys? Hey, Shadow Jr. What's going on? Justin here.
Hey,
We'll
what's
see
up,
there.
Joe? Welcome.
So yeah, it just felt like a full 360 that, it was not Shadowcat Jr. Diego Lopez's first match, and it was, against the person who brought him in and showed him, the ropes and everything. So I'm very proud of that. Then we have the owner of the promotion, which is Shadowcat. He's right now the high flying icon. He is the current Silver Linings champion. Look all his stuff up. He is fantastic. A couple years ago at our old venue, he jumped off the balcony in a TLC match, which was just insane. He's been in a lot of different matches. Shadowcat is personally one of my best friends. He's the owner. Without Shadowcat, there is no Matt Amato, to put it shortly.
Yes, so how did you get your start in the wrestling business? Like, what made you say, I want to do this?
So it's very complicated, how like a timeline of events. So I'll try to make it quick. Early 2000s, I was watching Friday Night SmackDown, and I got bored for some reason. It was just like I was watching the same matches week after week, and I flipped the channel, and on public access, I seen this ring, and it was poorly lit. It was just it was like blurry VHS quality, and it was two wrestlers just going at it, and I was very curious about it because I had never seen anything quite. I mean, it was just poor production, but it quickly sparked my interest when I seen at the ticker at the bottom it said Buffalo, New York, and I'm like, oh, I live in Buffalo, New York, so obviously I gotta take notes of this. So I wrote down the website, and I was like, oh crap, they're across town. At the time I didn't have a car, so I was like, oh, I'll wait a couple months. And then a show popped up in Amherst, which is where I live. I went to this, it was a Pepsi Center, which is the venue. The main event was a War Games steel cage match. And from there, I was hooked. And a couple shows down the line, I asked the promoter, hey, what can I do? Because I'm a 14-year-old kid. There's got to be something. So he gave me a stack of flyers for the next show, said, hand them out, and see you at the next show. Handed out those flyers like, my life depended on it. Hey, come see the show, come see the show, come see the show. Turn 15, they're like, hey, here's a camera, take some pictures. Took pictures. Turn 16, they're like, hey, you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're a millennial. Run our social media for us because we have no idea what we're doing. I did that for a while, and then I slowly got into commentary, which is where I started calling the matches for a while, and then the promotion that was, which was OSPW, folded, and then as they were closing down, the ashes rose of Nickel City Wrestling, and when we started going there. And we built, our first show, I was doing commentary. Second show, did commentary. Third show, blew my mind. Shadowcat said he was just done with it. He didn't want to have the responsibilities of the general manager anymore, and he passed those responsibilities on to me.
Yeah, watching Shadowcat was the reason why Matt Amato got into the business. That's what Steven was saying.
Yeah. Steve, that's Shadowcat's son.
Oh, hey, what's going on, young Shadowcat?
Yeah, no. Shadowcat, to put it, briefly, there's been many people who I credit to the reason why I'm still here. But Shadowcat, for some reason, I don't know why, because I get it. I'm the reason he has gray hair now. But he's kept me here for, since 2016. And even prior to that, he's kept me around. And, there's got to be something wrong with him if he keeps me around.
Yeah. So how did Nickel City Wrestling get into the wrestling business?
So
do you know the backstory?
Yeah, so the backstory to that was, like I said, during the 2014-2015 era, we were finding out that our home fed, which was Old School Pro Wrestling, was closing its doors. And a lot of us were very upset that, we weren't going to have a home in Buffalo anymore. So, all Shadowcat, again, without Shadowcat, there is no Nickel City Wrestling. But he, graciously said, we're not going to let the flame die of OSPW. We're going to rise from the ashes of the last show. And then October 15th, 2016, we were born. We put on our first show, Buffalo Invasion.
Wow.
Yeah,
and that one was headlined by Bushwhacker Luke and former TNA star Jesse Neal.
He was at the show I was at in New Jersey when I showed you the poster for it.
Which one, Jesse Neal or Bushwhacker Luke?
Bushwhacker Luke.
Is he still going?
Yeah.
In the Puerto Rican term, the Spanish term, when he came out to the ring and do the arm thing, all I could do the whole time it wasn't yay. I was going ay bendito, ay.
Well, I remember, in 2016, all the kids, they were so excited for Bushwhacker Luke. I give him credit though, for as old as he was, he put on a hell of a match.
73 years old. That's how old he is.
God bless him.
That's why I was going ay bendito. He couldn't even. His neck was like this. He was like.
Well, I remember it was 2012 or 2014. I can't remember, but there was a fed out in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, not too far from here, and he did a death match.
What?
What?
Yes. No shit. He had barbed wire ladder, after the match he was a bloody wreck, and I remember sitting there, and this was again before OSPW and when I worked with him, but I remember thinking to myself, my God, this man just had a barbed wire TLC match at that. I don't know how old he would have been at that point, but I was just, it blew my mind to say the least.
That's insane, dude.
Oh, it is.
I can't. I mean, I believe you, but at the same time, I really don't believe you.
It's so funny. What I'll do is after this podcast ends, I know the photographer from the show. I will copy some of the photos and post them in a group chat for us so you guys can see them.
Oh,
okay.
Geez, man.
Or you can send them through Instagram like we always do.
Oh yeah, perfect. That works as well.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. All right.
I don't know. Like as my dad says, like when it's your time, you have to stop. But I think personally, Bushwhacker Luke feels that if he stops doing wrestling, he's gonna die. I think he goes, if I stop and sit down and go in my chair in my rocker and just sit there with my brother, I'm gonna become like him and be a crippled mess.
So you think he's gonna do the Randy the Ram scenario and just die in the ring?
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen to him. I'm sad. I grew up in the Bushwhackers. Like I think we all did. Like
I hate to say that's the scenario, but I mean, if you gotta go, I mean, I can't think of a better way.
And he won the match I saw him in too. So
yeah. Hey, you know what? Give him credit. Who's the guy that Impact
look at Menards.
We're
talking about.
I could have swore there was a viral clip from like a year ago. He did the old school. He was like 73 years old. He was like one of the oldest wrestlers that Impact had. Him and Bushwhacker Luke, man, that would be a killer match.
Yeah.
But anyways, what were you on to?
The way that Bushwhacker Luke won, since his brother Butch is not there, he did the little headbutt thingy with the referee. The referee's like, oh well. And he put his head down, he grabbed his head, and he ran into the guy, and then he pinned him. Pretty much fell on top of him.
Yeah, well, when Bushwhacker Luke was with us, he did that bulldog thing with Shadowcat. They did the double clothesline thing with Shadowcat, and then the finish was Bushwhacker Luke laid down on all fours behind the opponent, and Shadowcat did a diving crossbody and toppled over. And that was the 1, 2, 3.
It's like what Ric Flair says: you never retire because the Rock and Roll Express is still wrestling, and they're doing Canadian Destroyers at their age, which is absolutely insane.
What are they, like 60, 70 years old? Another team that you look at them and you go, "Hi, bendito." No, I don't want to.
They're still wrestling, Joe.
Like, I look and I go, if I was a wrestler that had to wrestle Luke, that's still in business. Luke, I'm sorry if you're watching this, dude. I'd go in the ring and be like, I don't want to hit my grandpa. Like, am I gonna hurt my? Am I gonna get sued?
Yeah.
like, what do they call senior abuse? Am I gonna get ordered for senior abuse? Like, what the hell? Like,
well, no, But like, what you call it? Who was it? I also worked with Jimmy Hart back in 2018, and he was another one who was fantastic. But I mean, he looks fantastic, but I mean, you can definitely tell like the age was getting to him. And Tatanka was on that show as well, and he fought one of our younger stars. And not that obviously the younger star could have ran circles around Tatanka, but Tatanka got the victory. But after that match, though, it was just like, ooh, how much longer is Tatanka going to be in that ring and just not go back to doing signings?
He has belly too. He has a belly.
You know what? I can't say the man shouldn't partake in adult beverages, but that's probably where it's coming from.
Gotta do some yoga.
Yeah.
Do some DDP yoga,
that,
bro.
Exactly, man.
do some calisthenics. Go to a gym. There's something called gold orange is orange. When I always go with my sister in Brooklyn, go to the gym.
Yeah,
hit it up. I'll give you an address.
Speaking of that, I actually got to witness Ricky the Dragon Steamboat wrestle one more time in Rhode Island, I believe it was, against Chris Jericho. And I'm like, this guy's going to wrestle Ricky Dragon Steamboat? And I'm like, this dude still freaking has it. Holy shit, man. Right?
Well, wasn't Steamboat supposed to be the one fighting Ric Flair in his final match?
I don't know who it's going to be.
I could have sworn I seen a rumor, but I wouldn't be surprised if they swerved it and it was Jay Lethal and this whole thing was like
a war.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Jay Lethal. I have a feeling it. Because to get Ricky Steamboat back in the ring, they would have been showing pictures of Steamboat training too.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about now era where there's an internet and everybody with a freaking cell phone within 5 feet taking pictures, making videos.
And that's
something
the thing.
Had to cost Steamboat ready.
Sadly, kayfabe is dead in a sense where on show days, it goes, but then sadly, you have the internet, you have someone who's heel and face on one show, and then 10 miles down the road they're tag team, and then you send them back up to another state and they're doing their own thing and they're best friends, and it's all on social media, so it's very hard to say that you're going to keep kayfabe alive when social media pretty much killed it.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a tag team in one of my local wrestling promotions that I go to. They're tag team champions, but in another promotion they're feuding. And I'm like, how does this make any sense? You're going, and it's like right down the road.
That's the thing, though. You just when you walk into an entrance of a venue and you see that logo or whatever Fed it is, you just have to know that what it's on social media isn't what's going to be at this show. Your storylines that are being told at this show are not going to carry over to the show down the road, the show down the state. Doesn't matter. You paid money to see this show, and that show is what you're going to be entertained with.
Yep. 100%. 100%. That's how it is with wrestling these days.
And I personally, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, it's not a good thing. I know Jim Cornette's ready to blow his brains out over it, but it's it's just the way times we progress and technology progresses, more feds pop ups, technology advances, everyone's got a phone, so they're going to capture moments like that. Like you said, if it was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, unless he had his own rock style training facility, obviously it would have been kept secret, but I don't know, I'm leaning towards Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good. Another one that still looks great is Great Muda. Is another one.
Yes. Oh my God. He's killing it, man. Didn't he just hang up the boots though not too long ago?
No, he just won the Noah World title.
Oh, you know what? I got him confused with Thunder Liger.
Liger just retired. I said Liger just tigered. I don't know what I'm thinking. Allergies.
Oh geez, Joe. Oh geez. Liger retired, right?
Tigered, yeah. Can't talk. We're talking cat, panther, cat. Tigered, yeah.
Tiger, right?
Tiger. Street Fighter. Tiger.
That's funny.
Yeah. So is there any upcoming events you have so far? Like you want to talk about?
Right now, our next upcoming event is going to be Rising Dawn. 2022, which is going to be happening at the Eastern Hills Mall on Sunday, August 28th. That show is going to include a former WWF ECW star. Right at this moment, I can't say, but I can tell you guys that the person is going to be incredible. So make sure you guys come on down. Guys, gals, everyone, you're welcome. Tickets are $40 for front row, $30 for general admission. The first match that has been announced, though, is Jocelyn Navarro versus Catalina Perez.
Wow.
I know I sent you the clip of last show. We had a lights out match, which was Catalina Perez versus Hollywood Haley J. And in that match, Catalina Perez picked up Haley J and threw her into the trash can.
Oh, I saw that clip. I saw that
Yeah.
clip. I saw that. I was just about to ask you about what's up with that, man. That was actually
So this feud between Catalina and Hollywood Haley J started over in December of 2021. I had to think about that for some reason. So at the show, it was Hollywood Haley J's mother, which is the Amazing Maria, her last match, and Catalina Perez locked in what I would say is a single leg Boston Crab and cranked on it, resulting in Amazing Maria needing knee surgery, which she received and is healing properly and should be hopefully back in the ring. I know she said she retired, but like you said earlier, nobody truly retires.
no one does retire. No one does retire wrestling. I mean, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's retiring again. He's having his last match again.
Yeah.
That guy I was talking about that was at the ISPW show, the one I said I didn't even know who he was till I had to look him up when I got home. That guy.
Yeah, the Salvatore Sincere.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wrestled Luke at the show, and I was like, both of these men are really old. Like, in this following contest is a double ay bandito for Joe. Ay bandito. Instead of for one fall, it's a one ay bandito. Oh no. Poor.
So then to continue on with the Hollywood Catalina storyline, in January, Catalina Perez cost Hollywood Haley J the women's championship when she distracted her because Hollywood has what we call the bag of rocks. It's a nylon sock that's got a bunch of rocks in it. You whip it, poof, you're knocked out. And Catalina Perez used that against her, causing Jasmine Allure to come in to get her finishing move in and get the 1-2-3. So Hollywood Haley J really took that personally. We go now into April, which was You Bet Your Ass, which was at the Batavia Downs Casino. That was then a fatal four-way, which was Megan Myers, Catalina Perez, Jasmine Allure, and Hollywood Haley J. So fatal four-way. During that match, the match ended. Hollywood and Catalina, just after the match, they exploded against each other. The general manager, who is Nick Russo, who is my arch nemesis, decided he was going to go out there and for once make an actually decent decision and made a lights out match between those two, which then brought us to our last show, Summer Slugfest, which was that match with Catalina and Hollywood Haley J, which Catalina got the big up on and got the 1-2-3 on Hollywood Haley J.
Amazing stuff right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sorry.
I was going to say, I recommend if you have a YouTube channel, head on over to our channel, Nickel City Wrestling. We are slowly but surely starting to post full matches. So I know our women's matches are going to be starting to be featured on there. We're going to have more full-length matches. Just make sure you come over, subscribe, let them know that the Dudes at Ringside podcast sent you. So that way we know that people are listening and watching us, and we appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Make sure everyone in the chat, please give these guys a follow.
Yeah, give them a follow. Get them on Facebook. Get them on Instagram. Get them on Twitter.
I promise you will not be disappointed. We provide, the top level of action. Nobody ever leaves our shows dissatisfied because we have just a variety of everything you could imagine. We got the comedy, we got the hardcore, we got the lucha libre style, we got the Greco-Roman style, what would you call that? Technical wrestling. We branch out. We make sure that it's a variety show. We make sure that, if obviously this match is in your cup of coffee, boom, the next match probably will be.
Do you guys have strong style at your shows or not yet?
Oh yeah, strong style. So we who was it? in October we had a tag team called American Strong Style, and I kind of like to say that in 2022, wrestling has changed where most wrestlers now do that strong style kind of wrestling. We don't, we don't call it just like strong style. We just kind of call it wrestling because that's sort of where, like old school kind of wrestling has just kind of transitioned into what people are looking for now in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm a huge New Japan fan, so that's why I'm so used to the strong style term. You know what I mean? With the hard chops, those kicks. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. I just felt it because I've had a couple matches, and you don't want to be on the recipient of a chop by someone who loves strong style. That's gonna light it up.
If me and Joe ever went to a school, I swear, I think we're gonna receive.
I keep joking because I'm saying, oh, I'll be the one that takes the table spot because I'm stronger than Geek. I'm buffer, upper body. I'm stronger. But there'll be that one person at the school that sees me and that goes, "I'll take the short bald guy. You take the tall skinny one." and the one person I don't realize we messaged and they didn't get back to us because they didn't want to talk to us, and I'll be like, "Fuck."
Hey Ryan, what's up, dude? How's it going?
Wagner, what's up?
What's up, Ryan? You're a friend of theirs. You're a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Make sure you follow this dude. He's awesome. So, yeah. So anyway, me and Joe were actually watching the AEW last night, the pay-per-view, and I forgot what match it was, Joe, but I was like, man, Joe, if we ever went to a wrestling school, that's gonna be me and you. I think it might have been one of the which match? Shit, what? I think it might have been the Shingo
with the Young Lions or whatever versus that one, right?
Yeah. It's like we were taking those chops right there,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, those are brutal.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, man. I think I would have rather taken the table spot than the chop.
I've always been taught by a wrestler from LA. He always says, when you take the table, Joe, tuck your neck, protect your neck, protect your neck.
Tuck your chin.
Right.
That's all. Tuck your chin, boys.
You'll be fine. He's like, you'll be fine.
And I get frustrated because I'm like, I've never gone through a table because I'm afraid I'm going to be that one. I'm like, am I good? And there's a metal bolt hanging out of my neck. And they're like,
but then again, they don't use tables anymore, Joe. They use doors now.
Well, it's so funny that you would say that because on our first show, not that botches happened in wrestling, and that's unfortunately the part of it. So the spot was Jesse Neal versus Venomous, and they were on the ladder, and there's a table that was right there. The plan was the manager was going to run, push the ladder, both people go through the table. That would set up then for the next show's TLC. What the manager didn't realize is that the ladder had a weight limit, and it was already starting to buckle. So when he ran to push the ladder over, instead of falling, forward onto the table, they fell backwards as the ladder collapsed onto the manager.
The Mets are okay. Yankees are still on fire.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
But anyway, I was just going to ask you, what is your opinion on that using doors instead of tables in today's independent wrestling?
I haven't had to resort to using doors because I'm personally a fan of tables, just the way they are made, and I feel like a lot of people are accustomed to them. Actually, now that I think about it, there was a door used a couple summers ago at Summer Slugfest. It was the Business versus Mad Dog, and Mad Dog was on the table. Business did a rolling senton from the apron onto the door. Mad Dog missed, got out of the way, and Business went through it. I don't know if the reason behind that is because the cost of the table is more expensive than the door, but I've always thought the door was just more nastier and just a lot thicker than what a table would have been.
Yeah. And I think they break easier too. I think that's another thing why the wrestlers have gone through doors instead of tables, because half the time the tables, they don't break.
See, that's the funny thing. Like, I've never really had someone come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm gonna put someone through a door," because but I'm obviously gonna wait for that conversation to come up. But I've never had someone be like, "Okay, here, I'm going to Home Depot and compare the size of thickness of the table's this big, the door's this big. Let's go through the door."
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through a door today. Yeah, I think that's
we've had this discussion on the podcast, me and Joe, and I was always saying, they should attach a doorbell to one of the doors.
That's my thing. I used to be a geek. I said that I would attach a doorbell and whoever I'm wrestling, spray paint their name on the door, and person's like dizzy, I'll ding the doorbell and everybody
Ding dong.
I will request the crowd go, "Who's there?" and have the whole crowd yell, "Who's there?"
Well,
and then throw them to the table. Boom! Slam.
Well, that's the thing. Now I want at the commentary booth. I want someone to have like a like a little doorbell, so that way, when a door. If now I gotta go find a door. Crap. Now I kind of want this scenario to happen where like I pull out a doorbell and just ding dong as like someone just goes to a table. Like the whole crowd like just starts
the crowd to
laughing.
go, "Who's there?"
Like yeah, the crowd just like what just happened? Just
Yeah.
like confused the hell out of them.
And remember when this spot is actually happening, you need to credit the dudes at ringside because this.
Oh my gosh! For Hollywood, you should have the doorbell. Everybody has a normal standard doorbell, and when Hollywood dings the doorbell, it goes ding, 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 ding.
Oh, please don't give her ideas because she's already. I mean, I love her Haley to death, but she sometimes like there is nowhere that the person starts and the character ends. Like they're just almost intertwining. So I can see
she's
her.
Gonna be like, really, Joe? You gave me the bigger, better. Of course, you're Holly.
Yeah.
I'd be one kissing her ring and be like, yes, Hollywood.
Yes.
You have the best. You'll have the longest.
You'll have the best doorbell. Everyone.
Best doorbell. The most high-end doorbell that doesn't mess up the environment. I don't want all that.
Oh, I don't think she cares about the environment. She's
like, whatever, Joe. Ew.
Yeah, as long as it makes her, what you call it, she doesn't care who she tramples. She doesn't care anything as long as it's putting her up. And
she's a heel, so she'd probably go after me. She'd be like, yes, Joe, whatever. Stop DMing me. Leave me alone. I don't need your life.
Which she is, again, she's one of Nickel City's fastest rising stars. I think it was her first debut, obviously. She won the belt. Like her debut, Nightmare on Grand Street. It was her, Megan Myers, and Katie Arquette. And Hollywood Haley J, her first day, man, her first Nickel City appearance, she got that 1, 2, 3 and brought home the victory. She brought home the gold.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you can't ask for a better debut.
It's the one thing you debut and you either lose your first match, but the thing is her first match and she wins the belt. Like, like that's insane, right, Geek?
That's insane.
That's what I mean. Like, again, she has so much credit behind her. She's a former Ohio Valley Wrestling Women's Champion. She's traveled, I believe it was like 18 different states. I mean, she's got knowledge of the wrestling business. But, that's the thing, though, is you just gain knowledge, and she knew how to come in, go underneath everyone else, and rise to the top.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. These days with wrestling, you can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I was just about to say, what is it like during actual show day? Like, what's your mindset?
Oh my God, it's have you ever seen a blender? Like, obviously you know what a blender is. Like, there's multiple ingredients and it's just blending up. That's pretty much what goes on from if I sleep at all the night before, which most times I don't, because I'm constantly in a state of anxiety on show day of what could go wrong, what is going to go wrong. Is this person not going to know up here? Is this person going to no show? Is the ambulance going to be ready? Is the doctor going to be ready? Is there anything that could happen that hinders the show to even begin? And then, once the first bell starts and we start getting closer to the main event, the anxiety starts to level down because it's like, okay, what I thought could have went wrong didn't go wrong. The person who I didn't know would show up showed up. The biggest thing, again, is, with being in New York State, we have to have a lot of extra things that some states don't have to have because they don't have athletic commissions. So, like, we have to have a doctor on site. So we have to have the New York State Athletic Commission on site. We have to have an ambulance on site. So you kind of worry, like, okay, is the ambulance company going to screw me over? Is the doctor who claimed he was going to be there not going to show up? Is, the person who's flying in from out of town, their plane going to be late? Is it going to be delayed? Is it going to be canceled and there's no way to get from Detroit, Michigan to Buffalo, New York? So, I mean, it's things like that are on show day that you kind of, worry about, and you really, and then again, as being the GM, you worry about the gate, you worry about how many fans are going to be there, how pre-sale looking, how's the actual attendance going to be, because I mean, you perform, but not that you're not going to give 100% if there's 100 people opposed to 400 people, but again, it makes everything come alive when there's more people in the crowd getting into it.
Yeah. Also, another thing is when I went to New Japan at Hammerstein. This was like the show was supposed to start at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
The show didn't start till 8:30. I found out that the reason why is because the ambulance was not there.
Yes.
So
and
they couldn't.
that's something that does happen. Luckily for us, it's never happened because I want to say that the ambulance company that we go through is very reputable. They're very reliable, and they are very good at taking dates and keeping those dates reserved. But I know in Rochester there was a show that happened, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, where they just couldn't get an ambulance. The people who were, or was it? I can't remember if it was the ambulance or the doctor, but one of them did a no-show, and that really cost them the show. And they had to stall, and they had to find ways to, have the wrestlers go out there, not wrestle, but greet with the fans, create a fun environment so that fans wouldn't leave, and obviously, they could start the show. And that's a problem because you tell people, hey, make plans to be here between 6 and 8. And you don't get to start the show until 8. That's the problem for anyone who had dinner plans or anything that they plan on doing after 8 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hard because if there's I've seen this lately. I don't know how true I've seen it. Sometimes the shows are Fridays, wrestling shows sometimes are on Thursdays, and during the regular year, right, Geek? People have school.
Now they're doing shows on Thursdays, which is weird.
See, that's weird. Now, I know for us, we rotate. It's usually either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on which one it is. But I mean, typically I always say that Saturday is usually your indie day, but with just how much wrestling is in the area, you want to make sure that this person can be booked and that person's doesn't have conflicting dates. So, sometimes, just for talent's sake, we try to kind of mix it up.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to go through because now you guys said about show days, and I'm not trying to give away everything that goes on behind the scenes. But
no, you don't have to.
No, but I mean it's just that whole chaos of I said there's just so many micromanaging things that can go wrong. And you always have to in your head think weeks before, days before, hours before, okay, if this goes wrong, how can I fix it quickly? Who do I have on speed dial that if a name that I booked doesn't show for some reason, who can I call to make this right within an hour's notice? And it's just it's those things that happen on show day that just brings out the anxiety in anyone. If you tell me anyone who's a promoter, owner, booker, whatever, that, oh yeah, show days are fine, they're lying to you or they're on drugs and they don't know. Yeah, no.
We know exactly what you're talking about. We've had people cancel on us that day, and then we go through our DMs going, who did we not talk to this week that said we told them we'll get back to as soon as possible? Oh, there's this person.
Yeah.
Available tonight. Holy crap, they're available tonight. I called.
Yeah.
You want to do a show? We're supposed to do a show. This person cancel on. You still want to do the show? Okay, make the room. Put the person's in the main chat. Make the room and change the name to this person.
It has happened many times.
Or the person canceled, and me and Geek call each other. Go, we still want to do the show. We'll just talk about the pay-per-view from this past Sunday, and we do the show. We had someone cancel on us, no show us, and we still had their name in the title. People came into the chat like crazy.
Yeah.
I think we had 20 people, 10 or 15 people in the chat that day. And we still did a show. We were mad as hornets.
Yeah.
Hours later, they messaged us, oh my God, I slept late. And we were like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to sleep in, that's fine, but you have to, if it's like anything else, if your attention is a currency. If you have something to give me, I'm ready. So if you want to book me for this date, I will make sure that no one else, gives me, again, Shadow I know today he was supposed to be here, but luckily we were able to change it up and I was able to take over. But you know what I mean? Unless you got an opportunity like he had, there shouldn't be a reason to cancel.
That's understandable.
And we were so I forgot what's the word. We were so welcoming with him. He's
he is a cool guy.
Came up, certain situation came up, and we were like, okay, that's fine. Me and Geek now, before in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, they had to cancel. Now I'm just like, all right, we'll find a way to we'll work around this.
Like luckily
No,
again,
you're the one
day.
you're the one that panics. I'm like, Joe.
I'm starting to learn. It's okay, Mike. It's okay.
You try to involve me into this thing, me and Geek. I'm like, you're the one that panics, Joe.
I'm starting to learn not to panic because there's always someone on the opposite end. If they can't make it, we'll just do the show by ourselves that day. But I like interviewing people. I like talking to people, not just Geek. I like talking to everybody that I can. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it brings a variety, and that's the thing. Like, I was saying that, like I know you guys said last month was the tag month, and then you guys are going into Lucha month.
Yeah, Lucha month September. Next month is West Coast.
West Coast, perfect.
West Coast. Yeah, skipping a month.
Yeah.
What you call it? We're going back to the future.
Yeah. What you call it? It's West Coast. It's so funny because are any of you familiar with XPW?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So I know in the West Coast they just started up, but something that like it hit me about when they first started was that the owner Rob Black lives in Rochester, and he owned he lives in Rochester. He still does. He owns a restaurant and an adult themed gift shop.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I wasn't, believe it or not, the gift store didn't blow my mind. It was the fact that he had a restaurant that blew my mind.
Is he still with Lizzie?
No, he has a new partner. I don't know what she does, but she's in that. I want to say, I don't want to make an assumption, but I'm assuming she's in the same category that Lizzie was.
Lizzie disappeared after XPW. She went under. Oh, I know why, but
after the Dark Side of the Ring came out, man, that was it.
Well, that's the thing, though, is when, like, prior to Dark Side of the Ring, I had heard rumors that, like, Rob Black lived in Rochester, but I never really, not that I didn't want to, like, investigate more, but I was just like, okay, like, I knew what XPW was, but it just kind of was like, oh, it's the West Coast ECW, like, just kind of went over. But then I realized, like, when Messiah lost his thumb, like the whole controversy behind there, and then it just was something like I was just like, I'm not really gonna look into. And then once XPW started off, they had that rebirth, and they held it in Rochester at the Armory, and now they're doing more stuff on the West Coast, which I can again see why, because West Coast probably doesn't have a lot of requirements for running a show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, smart right there, and a lot of people shit on the rebirth show.
Well, it's. People probably wanted the violence, and the thing is, again, to Rob Black's credit, I understand the character or the person himself may be a scumbag, but when you're, running in New York State, it doesn't matter what you're known for. New York State is right there, front row at every show, and they will shut you down if you even violate one of their little, ass tracks of rules and regulations.
Yep, go on.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny because, like, the Main Street Armory, for those who aren't in the Western New York area, is a very popular venue. Like, that is, any like smaller bands that are nationally known are going to go to that building. Like, it is meant to hold, close to 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Wow.
So yeah, like, it's not a small place, and I know that the attendance there was pretty low, and again, I get why, but I feel like most people didn't really think like XPW would do good on the East Coast, which I will say one thing. About a month ago, Rob Black did something in his restaurant that to me was not genius, but he ran an underground show that he advertised as not a wrestling show. So he like tarped out all the windows, got rid of all the tables, and held like deathmatch fights in his restaurant.
What?
Yes, no, like you can find it. It was one of the most craziest things I'd ever seen. Schluck was there. Will Carroll, who is the writer of National Teen Set Outsider, he was there, and he has been doing stuff with Rob lately. I can't think of what he like on the first like West Coast show. He ran like a band called The Vaxxed or something, and then he ended up like getting hit with a light tube, and then him and Rob have now been like collaborating, and he's kind of like Rob's, I want to say, like right hand man for like New York stuff. But they ran this show out of his restaurant, the Great American Cheeseburger, which was a straight up death match. And I still to this day don't know how he got away with it. But I mean, there was glass, they were fighting in the street. It was honestly just something that, honestly, it was a total Rob Black move.
I wonder what they call the food in that place.
It's called I think it's called the Great American Cheeseburger, the restaurant.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, like, is there something called a hardcore hamburger or?
I wouldn't be surprised. like just free barbed wire sample on the side. Just wrap the fries in barbed wire, dunk it in blood.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
The blood would be the ketchup.
Yeah, exactly.
The burger, if you wanted Bloody Geek, they call it. Can I get the burger XPW'd? Who told you about that? Crap. Run, Geek, run.
It's the hardcore hamburger. There you go, the hardcore hamburger. Oh my God, it's Jim Ross. The hardcore hamburgers are here.
Well, what you call it? If you guys ever find yourself in upstate New York, you guys let me know. We'll all go up to the American Cheeseburger and we'll go try Rob Black's famous Great American Cheeseburger.
Oh gosh, we have to now, Geek. We have to
now we have to go, Joe.
Now we have to go.
Well, from what I've seen, like on Instagram and like just things, because I follow the page, like they have XPW memorabilia all over the restaurant. Like they have the heavyweight title, like just plastered on the wall.
Can you make it more obvious?
Yeah. I mean, other than a sign in the front window that says "Owned by Rob Black," enter at your discretion.
Oh, really? That's what it says?
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, how much more obvious that XPW ran that restaurant, other than that sign being like plastered at the front of the door.
God.
Oh my God! Imagine.
Oh my God, dude.
Now we gotta go. Now we have to go to. You have to come there. You have to come to me, and then we'll drive to upstate New York.
Well, do you have any upcoming social? Do you have any social medias people can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the handle of Amato has the mic. That's AMATOHASTHEMIC. Or you can find me on Facebook by just searching Matthew Amato. July 10th, if you are in the Buffalo, Niagara region, our school, the Nickel City Wrestling Compound, is going to be having an open tryout date. So the cost is $30, and we will evaluate, just where your condition, if you've had prior wrestling knowledge, training, if you haven't, if this is your opportunity that you want to say, hey, I'm in the area, I don't know where to begin. Come on down, $30. We will put you to the test. We will see, what you need to improve on, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and just give you some, feedback, and, hopefully then you'll enroll in our school and, make your dream a reality.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And guys in the chat, please check out Nickel City Wrestling on YouTube, Facebook, everything. Go to their shows. Please support them. They're good.
And by the way, I love your jacket you had on in the promo picture. That's
the support independent wrestling.
Yes, that's
yes.
That is. I saw that, a tear went in my eyes. Like, Alan Geek saw his jacket. That is that's the lifeblood of dudes at ringside.
I don't know if they still have them. It was made by Collar and X Elbow back in 2019.
I'm like, if that was you selling those, like if that's one of your things you sold on the table, if you could send me that and I could put it right here.
Dude, I wish, that we had, I would love to make a Nickel City Wrestling version of it, to be honest with you. It's so funny because I know we're wrapping up, but one of the things that I love is merchandise, and I would literally throw a logo on anything and just be at the merch table, $25.
If I had the money, I'm like, I want that jacket right here.
Yeah.
Every episode. Right, Geek? Every episode, that shirt, that jacket be right there. All right. I'm Joe Panther the Third.
I'm the Metal Geek.
Hopefully next time you see me, gonna be the Nickel City Wrestling General Manager once again, Matt Amato.
And we will catch you in the next one.